You can't give up on yourself. You can't give up on what you want. You can't. You can't, because you'll wake up one day, 30 years, 5 years, 10 years, and think about all the things you could have done. And you can do them now. You can wake up each morning and try to be a little bit better, work a little bit harder. I don't know about y'all, but when I feel like giving up or throwing in the towel, it's truly because of a few things, but mainly because I convinced myself that I wasn't shit and my confidence is depleted because the internal thoughts in my head about myself have become so negative. I feel like, why even try? I don't feel like I'm at this place now, but you know, a lot of people are in quarantine still. A lot of people have lost their work. A lot of people have sickness. A lot of people are dealing with real life issues. And it's hard to ignore the feelings that you feel when you're going through those issues. And it will convince you, you will make yourself believe that you're not worthy of anything and that you cannot accomplish your goals and your dreams. And that's completely false, boo-boo, because we bosses over here, and although we might stumble, we not gonna fall. But in reality, you know, it's impossible to ignore that we have feelings, we're human, and we go through emotions each day that some of us may battle with. In addition to reading Atomic Habits, I also started reading The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And in the beginning of the book, I just struggled. I just struggled with the idea of not giving a fuck. I feel like the book is teaching me that I feel like the beginning where I'm at right now, I'm probably on chapter 2 or 3. What the book is teaching me right now is that it's okay to feel. It's reminding me of those things, right? I think we live in a society now where we feel like we have to have the answers right away. And that is a false belief. That's just false. You know, that's just truly false. Like, we don't have to be okay all the time. We don't have to have everything figured out all the time. And we don't have to know everything all at once. We forget that there is a process to things a lot of the times, and we need that process in order to learn. And so that's been my takeaway from this book so far. I'm not going to give my book report in this video, but it has reminded me of the importance of remembering that you're human and remembering that you're not a machine. And although social media will make you believe that everybody has it all figured out, everybody don't show when they down. Everybody doesn't show their flaws. Everyone is trying to figure out how to make their lives better, and social media has made people feel like they can't be honest with themselves. Some people. And so when I think about the times and the instances where I feel very low and I feel like I'm questioning why I'm trying to achieve a goal or go after something that I want, I have to acknowledge that I feel that way because I haven't been nice to myself. I haven't been feeding myself the way I've been feeding other people. It's funny that we can show up for other people in ways that we don't show up for ourselves. And so when I feel like I'm low, when I feel like I shouldn't be doing something, or I'm questioning my dreams, or I'm convincing myself that I don't deserve something, one thing that I do, I engulf myself in other conversations. I engulf myself in books. And I love watching videos that challenge my perspective. I feel like when I'm dealing with negative thoughts, it's because I'm only hearing myself. And I know I'm not the only one in quarantine who ain't seen nobody and hasn't had a lot of human interaction, that has been feeling isolated and has been feeling like, who are you? These four walls are tiring. Like, I can't be the only person that feels that way. And when it's just you, and when you're just alone and it's just your thoughts that you're dealing with and it's just how you feel and you have no outside perspective, it really affects your mind. You can convince yourself of a lot of things. And so how I combat that is just engulfing myself in other perspectives. That's why I read books. I love watching videos on YouTube from the impact theory. I talk about the impact theory a lot. I love the impact theory. Honestly, it really helps shift my perspective in some pivotal moments in my life. And I do this, I truly do this because when it's just you in your head, you can convince yourself of anything. You can convince yourself that you're the baddest bitch, or you can convince yourself that you ain't shit, depending on the day. Truly. I have had highs of confidence where I'm like, can't nobody tell me nothing. I'm about to make 100,000 this year. I don't care what nobody say. And then I have had dramatic conversations with myself, and I've convinced myself that why would I try to ride a bike? You can't ride no bike. You know, just a small example. But I really convinced myself that some of the smallest things I want to accomplish, I can't do. And it's not true. Like, we forget how powerful our minds truly are. Our minds will tell our bodies what to do. We just have to train it. And that's a process. And it's a process that I've gone through. But it's just a never-ending process of learning about yourself, because you're constantly changing and you can't compare yourself to a past version of yourself. And it's something that I'm going through and learning and figuring out myself, because as humans, that's what we do. And the art of not giving a fuck, it talks about how we're trained, like as humans, like our brains are wired to have problems, like to complain about something, to have an issue, to have something to overcome. And our minds are just wired that way. So it's our job to recognize when those things happen and figure out a way around it and take ourselves out of our shoes and put some other people's shoes on for a minute. So I recommend going to the impact theory, you know. I love their videos. They have a wide variety of videos that just challenge what it means to be human and what all our minds can truly do. And when you start to learn more about your mind, you'll start to be a lot nicer to yourself. I feel like when you learn how you're wired, you really can give yourself some grace, girl. One thing that I always keep in mind is that we're always building something. Whether we're building a trap house or a mansion, we're always building something. It takes us acknowledging the work that we need to do on ourselves to figure out who we are at our core, to figure out what it is we truly, truly, truly want, and to figure out who we need to be to achieve those things. We're unable to change our wiring. And I think you can give yourself some grace when thinking about the life that you want to create for yourself. So when you want to throw in the towel and you want to give up, like if you give up now, you'll give up another time. You know, if you build a habit of giving up when things get hard, you'll always give up when things get hard. Life isn't always easy, and you can't always just throw in the towel when things get difficult. When it comes to things that you want, if you want something, you have to get up and you have to go get it. Hands motherfucking down. You know, like you can't give up on yourself. You can't give up on what you want. You can't, because you'll wake up one day, 30 years, 5 years, 10 years, and think about all the things you could have done, and you can do them now. You can wake up each morning and try to be a little bit better, work a little bit harder. I had a conversation with my mom, and they got like 5 steps in the house. And she was telling me how she's been working on exercising. And she was telling me that like she started walking up and down the 5 stairs, and the first time she walked up and down the 5 stairs, she was tired, she was pooped, she was out of it, she was like, oh, the way these breaths are set up, I don't know about this. But every day she woke up and she would challenge herself to do more. She went from 5 to 10 to 20, and now she can do 100 reps in 5 stairs. And it was really inspiring to hear that. My mom has had a lot of health issues, and I've seen her transform before my eyes. And I don't know, she gave me a little bit of inspiration with how she's challenging herself. And it may seem small to some people, but like, that's her fight. Trying to be healthier, trying to build better habits, trying to eat better, trying to exercise more, right? And like, I've never really seen my mom work out my whole life. And so for her to be taking this into her own hands and really challenging herself, it was just a reminder to me that like, no matter how old we get, there's something that we're gonna need to work on or want to make better or tweak and tighten. And it's up to us to wake up each morning and make those changes. Whether you want a successful business, whether you want to lose 10 pounds, whether you want a new car, whatever you want that's mental, physical, whatever, like, you're gonna have to work to get it. And you have to take care of yourself in the process. You can't forget you in the process of you trying to accomplish a dream or goal. You are the most important factor in that. And you can't forget to take care of yourself. And self-care looks different for everyone, you know? Some people like to get their hair and their nails done and it makes them feel popping, you know, when they step out, you know? Other people may love to read, and when they read, they feel connected with themselves. Other people may meditate. I got friends that they don't meditate, they off their rocker. You know, I'm one of them. You know, some people just may need to take a brisk little walk, a quick little run, something, get some fresh air. Figure out what works for you. Like, how would you show up for a friend that feels like they're losing themselves, feels like they don't know who they are anymore, and you need to be that for you. And I know I'm dealing with this now, you know, living in a new place, living in a new state, like trying to find my rhythm. And it's not an easy process, but it's a process I'm gonna have to do if I don't want to wake up and wonder where the last 6 months of my life went because I didn't do nothing. You know, we doing things in 2021. We are doing things in 2021 because we can't afford to not to, because we're bossing up. We're living big. We got expensive taste, okay? Like, we are leveling up. And to level up, we need to level up every aspect, mind, body, spirit, soul. Like, we have to, in order to be the best versions of ourselves. Because when we are successful, we don't want to look back and feel like we don't even know who we are. You know, you don't want to have $1 million in the bank and have lost yourself in the process. I feel like when I think about the business that I want and the life that I want, it's me being connected to myself still in the process of me building something I know is going to be successful. Can't nobody tell me otherwise. And I'm here to remind you that can't nobody tell you otherwise either, because we got to have boss mentalities, baby, in order to be bosses. And we got to be a boss in here and in here first before anything. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Read some, meditate some, figure out what you like again, figure out what makes you happy, and I need y'all to follow joy throughout anything. And whatever makes you have a smile on your face, boo-boo, keep it around. Unless it's toxic. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing toxic, but you know what I mean. So I will see y'all in the next video, and I hope you enjoyed this. Bye.
You told me I could trust you. Don't lie. I could really